Matthew Huttle. I want you to think about the name Matthew Huttle. Just last month, after being pardoned by Donald Trump for his conduct on January 6th, where he had racked up, was arrested for 4 separate cases after January 6th.
Indiana State Police say a sheriff's deputy attempted to arrest the suspect during the traffic stop.
How many times have you been caught driving without a license?
In my life.
Indiana State Police say a sheriff's deputy attempted to arrest the suspect during the traffic stop.
Here for a sec. I want you to turn around, put your hands on. Don't you do it, buddy!
But the suspect resisted. ISP says an altercation took place between the suspect and officer.
When the officer tells Huttle he is under arrest for habitual speeding, he suddenly runs back to his car and can be heard saying, quote, "shooting myself."
No!
Hey guys, we're back with another video. Today, we're not doing the anomalous files. No aliens or UFOs, not in this video. By popular demand, we're diving back into true crime, the gritty stories Buellschool was built on. I've always wanted to unpack the lives of January 6ers beyond the headlines into the raw human fallout. Today, we're following Matthew Huttle, a dude whose reckless life choices led to a deadly police encounter in January 2025. And we've got it all on Bodycam. Stay with us. This one's a Jackie Chan punch to the gut you won't see coming.
Shots fired, 147, Maple Street. Requesting backup.
Matthew Huttle was a 42-year-old journeyman carpenter from Hobart, Indiana, a father of 2 whose life was a storm of self-inflicted chaos. Raised in a law enforcement family, his father, Donald Huttle, was a respected Lake County Sheriff's Sergeant with 45 years on the force. Matthew's path veered far from that legacy. Friends described him as smart and personable when sober, but a mess when drinking, a habit that consumed him for 15 years, downing 12 to 18 beers daily. That addiction fueled a staggering 13 criminal convictions, including 7 driving under the influence charges, as prosecutors later noted, revealing a pattern and practice of disrespecting the rule of law. Huttle's criminal record is extensive and troubling. In 2010, while on probation, he faced legal consequences stemming from an incident involving his 3-year-old son, reportedly triggered by a bathroom mishap. This left the child visibly uncomfortable, unable to sit for a week due to marks on his neck, back, and lower body. Huttle also had a documented history of conflict with the child's mother. In 2010, he pleaded guilty to felony battery, resulting in a 2.5-year prison sentence. His other legal issues included a charge of conversion after leaving a gas station without paying while under the influence, as well as disorderly conduct related to a confrontation with his son's mother. His repeated driving violations led to Indiana designating him a habitual traffic violator, a felony status that resulted in a long-term license suspension. Despite this, between the January 6th riot and 2025, he accumulated 4 additional traffic cases, with several charges still unresolved in Lake County at the time of his passing. Huttle's personal history was also marked by a series of devastating challenges. In 2015, he sustained a gunshot wound to the knee under unclear circumstances. 3 years later, he survived a violent assault involving blunt objects, resulting in long-term injuries. That same year, tragedy struck when the mother of his child passed away due to complications from substance use. His own mother, Lynn Huttle, a respected first-grade teacher, died in January of 2023. By 2019, Huttle's health began to collapse. He was diagnosed with severe liver disease, respiratory issues, and chronic pain, ultimately leading him to stop drinking. But by then, his stability was already unraveling. Huttle's unraveling went public on January 6, 2021. Fresh out of jail for a driving offense, he drove his uncle Dale Huttle to Washington, D.C. for the pro-Trump Stop the Steal rally. Dale, a 73-year-old former car salesman from Crown Point, Indiana, fervently believed the 2020 election was stolen and, with poor eyesight, needed Matthew to drive. Matthew later said he went because it felt historic and he had nothing better to do. I apologize for the bluntness, but this reasoning for committing a federal offense is peak level stupid as fuck. While driving to Washington, D.C., Dale told Matthew, "We ought to bum rush the Capitol building. We've got enough people to do that," urging action once they arrived. Matthew illegally entered the Capitol through a Senate wing door, spending 16 minutes inside. He roamed hallways, the crypt, and multiple offices, recording the chaos on his phone. at one point turning the camera on himself, exclaiming, "That's me." Oh my God, this guy's a literal genius. Unlike Dale, who stayed outside violently attacking officers with a flagpole, jabbing one in the stomach, causing a slipped disc, knocking another downstairs, and jabbing at officers, helping the fallen, later ripping off a gas mask and grabbing a baton, Matthew didn't assault anyone, but his presence was enough to land him in the FBI's crosshairs. On January 20th, 2025, President Trump issued mass pardons to over 1,500 January 6 defendants, calling it a promise fulfilled. Matthew's conviction was cleared and his supervision ended. Just 6 days later, on January 26, he was pulled over for speeding in Jasper County. What began as a routine traffic stop would soon escalate into a deeply troubling encounter. Viewer discretion advised. What follows is intense.
110 Center Hour West, 1028 is going to be to Indiana. Frank T. Tom 6881.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Pretty well.
The reason I'm pulling yours for 70 and a 55. Any reason for going that fast today?
Sir, I was just keeping up with traffic.
Okay, fair enough. You got your license and registration on you?
Can I put it in parks?
Yeah. Where you coming from today?
Church and my mom's cemetery.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that I'm a January 6th defendant.
What do you mean?
I stormed the Capitol and waiting on my pardon.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't really afford to get in any trouble right now.
Okay. I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
I am driving without a license right now.
Okay, so why are you doing that then?
Well, I have to. I've been waiting for my hardship license. I just moved back from Idaho.
Okay.
And I had to move back here because my federal case.
Okay.
So I'm just in the middle of everything right now.
So with your federal case, why would you have to move back to Indiana?
Well, I had pending traffic violations, and I had to live in Indiana in order to qualify for the hardship license, but
Yep.
they didn't tell me that until I got my federal case, so I moved back to get my license.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see your license here.
Okay.
How many times have you been caught driving without a license?
In my life?
No, just recently. Like, how many have you been caught with the suspended driver's license before?
Yeah, but it hasn't been for years, long time.
Okay. All right, Matt, hang tight for me, okay, and I'll get back with you, all right?
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Do you have the registration for your vehicle?
I got this. I think I have the title in here.
Okay. Is that a corgi back there?
This was the Senji
Okay.
rescue dog.
Okay. All right. All right, Matt, hang tight for me, okay, buddy? Mail through India. ID card number 0650 346028, beginning 0650 34 60 28. Hey, Matt, you want to go ahead and shut your vehicle off and step back here with me real quick?
Yep.
Go ahead and shut it off for me, please.
Am I under arrest or anything?
We'll come back here. I'll explain everything to you, okay? Real quick while I explain it to you. Okay, so today you're getting off with a verbal warning for the speed. However, you're a habitual traffic violator.
I know.
Which means that you are at a felony status for driving while suspended. So today you are going to come with me.
Well, I can't.
You're going to have to, okay? You're going to come with me today, all right?
No, I can't go to jail for this, sir.
You're going to have to come.
Can I get a ride?
No.
Are you sure?
I'll
violate my...
Just listen to me, okay? Number one, it's a felony offense. There's no leeway with felonies in the state of Indiana. Now, maybe if it was a misdemeanor offense, I could work something out with you, but it's not a misdemeanor. It's a felony offense, okay? So that's why I can't work with you today with it, okay? I understand your circumstances, but you understand that you can't drive, okay? So your driving has resulted into this situation, okay? Now, what I'm going to do, all right, is I'm going to put your information right here for a sec. I want you to turn around and put your hands on. Don't you do it, buddy. No.
I'm shooting myself.
No.
Okay, now that we've seen that, I'll tell you what I think. Take it or leave it. I've now watched this footage more times than I can count. When I started this project, I didn't feel much empathy for Matthew. His past, particularly the harm he caused to his family, was deeply troubling. And without getting too political, his involvement in the Capitol riots placed him on a path many people across the spectrum have condemned. But as I sat with this footage, something shifted. Over time, as my initial judgment settled, something shifted. Seeing that rescue dog in the backseat kind of began to make me think a little bit deeper about this guy, and it kind of humanized him for me a little. Beneath the choices, the charges, and the chaos, there was still a human being. And I felt that. I think it's okay to hold people accountable and still recognize their humanity. Matthew Huttle's last moments show a man cornered by his past, a past littered with bad decisions from battery to felony traffic violations, culminating in his role on January 6. A special prosecutor reviewed the encounter and deemed the deputy's actions legally justified, saying Huttle had a loaded firearm and raised it during the struggle. Huttle's father, a retired officer, argued that someone threatening self-harm shouldn't have met this fate. There are no simple conclusions here. Huttle's actions on January 6 weren't heroic, they were reckless, part of a day that shook the nation. But his story also reflects something else. How fast ordinary lives can unravel when ideology, desperation, and a disregard for consequences collide. What do you think? Could this have ended differently?
No. I'm shooting myself.
No.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching. If you're into deep dives like this, hit that like button and subscribe for more investigations from Buellschool. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on Matthew Huttle's downfall? Got a story you think we should cover? Reach out. Here, we chase the truth wherever it leads. See you in the next one.